My speaking style is never have a point without a story and never have a story without a point. So I told this story at Farm Tech for the first time ever, and one of my patrons enjoyed it, and I'm going to tell it again. One of the good things about Farm Tech is you bump into old colleagues. In 1981, when the urban cowboy movement was out and Mechanical Bull came out there, we're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, we headed to the big city, and there was this Mechanical Bull, and with all the cushions around, the people were lined up, and there was these two dudes that finally got to the front. Well, the first dude, he didn't plan for this. He was an unconscious incompetent. He was about 60 pounds overweight, he was intoxicated, and he barely walked over to the Mechanical Bull, but he got on, and the guy on the controls thought, oh, this guy's a goof. And it was really hilarious because he moved at about 4 degrees, this guy tilted and landed like a bag of wheat. So he didn't have a clue what he was doing. The next dude, he was pretty built. He had a Lakeland Rodeo Association t-shirt on, he had about 4% body fat, and he got up there and he knew his stuff, eh? You had the option of wearing a leather glove or not wearing a leather glove. So he called for the leather glove and he put it on and he's cinching it on, he's tightening it, and it's taking way too long because the lineup is building because everybody wants to ride this bull. So this dude puts on a leather glove, finally he gets enough confidence because he thinks he knows what he's doing, puts the leather glove in the air, grabs on with his bare hand, and nods over to the controller. So that dude is a totally unconscious incompetent. And I was speaking at Pinoca a few years ago, and an elderly lady came up at the end, and she goes, young man, I really don't find you to be too optimistic. I've been speaking for 14 years professionally, and I prepare myself for these moments. And I said to her, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And she just was, what do you mean? And I said, well, for my travels in the agriculture sector, optimistic advisors cause more damage than anybody I know. You want to be realistic. You don't want to be pessimistic. But if they're not painting your reality, then what are they doing? They're doing harm. The game changer for me was a mechanism called interest-based mediation. And that means if I had to evaluate your situation from my filters, it's going to be a dangerous thing, and I'm likely going to be off on the accuracy of my evaluation because I don't know what it's like to be in your shoes. I've never walked in your shoes, etc. So that's a huge challenge. So the job of a mediator is that in every conflict, there's a victim, there's a villain, and there's a hero. So the fault, in my opinion, with advisory in the world that I travel is meeting with each of the parties separately, because you know what, Raymond, if I sat with you and something was going on in your family, you're going to tell me from your perspective what's going on. And I'm going to listen to you. And I'm probably not going to agree with you because I want to be neutral. Then you go, oh, that Reg is a good guy. He listened to me. He must agree with me. My job is to get you to listen to her and get her to listen to you. And that's where the magic lies. What I think about your particular situation is irrelevant. What you think about is very important until you paint yourself in the corner. So the second part is you got to be respectful of the person and go hard on the problem. Because likely in that same circumstance, what's going on for them, the majority of people would act the same way. It's that empathy, warmth, sympathy, wow, they go a long way. Think about the last time you were in conflict. It's the 5 stages of conflict. So your first stage of conflict is self-absorption. Poor me. Why did this happen to me? And you start to snivel. And the second normal stage in conflict is that SOB. Why did that SOB do that to me? And the third stage is I couldn't do anything about it. I was helpless. But the reality is, and it's really, really intriguing, when you're dealing with the human mind and the succession planning world, is somewhere beneath that, the foundation is we all have baggage. And we all have baggage because we didn't let the emotions go somewhere in the past. Humans are creatures of habit, and they go to a place of safety. The safest place that you go to is your history because you've been there. And my job as a mediator is to understand and listen to history to the point of capturing culture. But as soon as I know the culture on your farm, you need to shift off. I prize myself in the facts. Let's get all the facts. I do divorce mediation. Wow, that's a powerful arena. But once you have all the facts, and you actually have a common interest, and the common interest means if you and I had an issue, where do we overlap? And is there an overlap? So do we want something that looks like the same thing? And if we don't have a common interest, then it's not a resolvable conflict. You want to come back to the farm, or you don't want to come back to the farm? You have a succession meeting, and for the first time ever, the son or daughter is saying, nah, I don't think I want to come back. What are we talking about? There's no overlap. When there's overlap, then you have a succession plan. When there's not, then you have an exit strategy. It's absolutely magical when you have the fog lift off a family's kitchen table, and for the first time, whether it's founder, successor, mom, dad, or whoever in that family unit brings about change, there's no better way to make a living.